My name is Abbie. I'm deeply passionate about all things wild and have made it my mission to explore and document many of the world's most stunning landscapes through human-powered adventure.
Each quest is totally unique. Some traverse exposed moorlands and rugged mountaintops. Others whiz through bustling market towns and historical cities. They see me dive down deep amongst marine life, follow world-renowned archaeological discoveries, and travel through some of the most tranquil valleys and mystical forests accessible on foot. My goal is always one of discovery and awareness. Getting outside is now more important than ever before, with obesity rates maintaining record highs and mental health issues affecting over 1 in 4 individuals. In building an archive of films, I aim to leave you looking for a challenge, ready to break free from the monotony of everyday life and be inspired by nature enough to want to give back. Ultimately, I want to see you don your adventure boots and spend more time in the wild for the benefit of mental and physical health. I've realised that sometimes you don't have to do something crazy or radical to change how you feel about your life. You just have to get up and get out. I face my own trials with mental ill health and chronic pain, as no doubt you'll see throughout my travels. But alongside building a strong support network, getting outside and taking the time to reconnect with nature has helped me move further along the road of personal discovery. So, here's me inviting you to join me on my adventures as I explore this awe-inspiring planet. There will be hardships along the way, and we're not guaranteed to succeed, but it takes a brave heart and a courageous soul to commit to the unknown. Now all you have to do is decide that you want it more than you are afraid of it. Are you ready? Let's go.
Hey, Abbie, high five. High five. Bye. Bye, Robbie. Yet another goodbye. It's time for another adventure to the Outer Hebrides. Here we go. Well folks, the mystery is to be revealed. I have woken up on the Isle of Vatersay. Yep, you guessed it. I'm going to be walking the Hebridean Way. So this route covers 10 islands across the length of the Outer Hebrides archipelago, the Western Isles. So I'm starting here in Vatersay and walking for 155 miles across the islands, across causeways, across ferries. I'll be sitting on a ferries, but still, to Stornoway on the Isle of Lewis. Now, there is the option to continue my journey all the way up to the Butt of Lewis, which is the northernmost point of that particular island. But I have 12 days out here in total, so I can either do 12 days to Stornoway or 12 days to the Butt of Lewis. I'm just going to play it by ear. I had a super nice camp just overlooking this stunning white sand beach. There were otters and seals, and it was really quite a heavenly, calming experience to get ready for quite a long hike, actually, because if I went up to the Butt of Lewis, that's 180 odd miles. So it's 8:15 now, and I have 14 miles ahead of me. I'm going to walk just the length of Vatersay across the causeway to Berneray, and then I have to make a ferry at 5 o'clock, which is going to take me to Hebridean, which is my next island. So that'll be 3 islands in one day, which is a little bit bonkers, but I think the only thing left to do is get some pictures and then get walking. Heading past the Vatersay Community Hall. Don't recommend camping too close to that because there's a beep that goes off about every 10 seconds. And here we are, Vatersay Causeway, Hebridean Way, 2.5 miles. And essentially that's just along this road/track.
From the off, I felt somewhat slapped around the face by the beauty of the morning and resolved to take it steady, settling into a pace for the day. A short while on, however, lay the remains of a Catalina plane that crashed on the 12th of May 1944, killing all 9 on board. It was a sobering reminder of the navigational hazards presented by this dramatic Scottish landscape. The road around Vatersay was empty, leaving me space to focus on the views across to Berneray and Castle Bay, where I had docked the night before. There were lots of little bays, each smothered in seaweed and boasting their own unique characteristics. And then, before long, appeared the Vatersay Causeway.
So the causeway was completed in 1991. It took 2 years to construct and cost 3.7 million. And the reason why the locals urged for it to be built with haste was because the cattle, when coming from Vatersay to Berneray, had to swim this 250 metre gap. And the prize bull drowned one day, I think in 1986, and people had had enough of it. And so, quarried out of the hillside, which we can see just there in front of the causeway on Berneray, they've got all this rubble, chucked it in the ocean, and now one can cross on foot, in vehicles, and by boat if you choose. Now, the taxi man last night was saying that this causeway was actually really quite complicated to build because obviously it has to account for both high and low tide. High tide meaning basically the surface of the water all the way down to the seabed is 9.5 meters. So there's a lot of rubble underneath my feet right now. And here's hoping this is not the day that it collapses. So this is where we leave the road for a short while. You can see we are going to basically be following this track around the edge of this peak, and behind it is Bien Tangabal. This is going to be a little bit arduous. It's quite a bit of ascent, but we can work with it. It's been chill so far. And basically around here are the remains of some old 2,000-year-old Iron Age houses and 4,000-year-old hut circles. I mean, check it out. Goodbye Vatersay, on and over Berneray. So these stones are the remains of one of the buildings. Madness. Just so fascinating. You can see another one down there as well.
This entire site is a nationally important ancient monument, and I was surprised to see that there was actually quite a lot above ground. I didn't hang around for long though, as ahead of me lay one of the steepest climbs of the entire way, and I was keen to attack it with vigour.
Whoops, that was not part of the plan. I broke the Hebridean Way. There now. Definitely a bit of a shock to the system after all that flat. It's nice though, finally get the body working as it's designed to do. Unbelievable. Wow. Just mad. Oi, oi, oi. Oh man, first sinkage. There's a sign over there and I don't know if there's actually meant to be a path, but I'm not on it. Just gonna go there, there, rock, never mind. I need to basically contour around this bowl. There's a whole bunch of springs and streams coming down, and the route kind of goes that way in front. Man, I'm just trying to get to over there. I sort of come up and I'm a bit stuck actually, unless I sink in the bog, which is entirely fine, but I'd rather not. Not this early on. Every so often there's a footprint inferring people have been here. It doesn't feel very used. And anyway, I'm not going to complain. There's nothing like the Berneray Way in Ireland. That was boggy. Look at that. So we're now on sort of a northwestern tip of Berneray, looking out across the vast ocean. I mean, sort of Iceland and America are somewhere over there. Definitely a bit of a free fall type situation here. Just moving fast across slippery ground. I can't believe how hot I am. It's really made me sweat, which is great. Get out all the toxins, you know. If you want a free detox, go hiking. It's good stuff. But it's just really muggy. So far I've been pretty lucky with the midges. Fingers crossed it remains that way. I was about to have a bath there.
Just off the path lay the remains of Dunban, an Iron Age fortification sitting strategically on the tall cliffs. There were the remains of buildings within the court and the outer walls, and it proved to be a fascinating place that demanded far more time than I could give it in my haste to make the ferry.
What you're not seeing a lot of is there's so many paths, I'm not actually sure which one to take. I don't think it really matters either. Okay, found a paddle. Oh, look at that. It was down there. That's so annoying. Look how high I've climbed. I mean, this is the thing. So, Hebridean Way was only created in 2017. And there's a lot of work still to be done if they want this to be a bigger, more popular trail. They need to get more posts up, signage, that sort of thing. But for now, here's what it is. I'm gonna loop down, get this job done.
Navigating the boggy, rocky landscape wasn't easy, but upon passing a beautiful pebble beach, I soon arrived on the shores of Tangersdal Beach and Village.
Alright, we made it to the village. So on the map, this is a pretty major road. It's dead. I've seen a few cars go past and it is national speed limit, but still, it's dead. So this is what I mean by if one needs to drop off the hill for any reason, there's so many routes that you can safely walk along.
With that in mind, I followed the road for a kilometre or so, passing several campsites and holiday cottages, before cutting east and back into the hills.
Well, here we are. The tarmac runs out and the path begins. Additional to that, there's this bird of prey trail sign. I mean, clue's kind of in the name. There's a trail through which you can see all kinds of different birds of prey. Well, that's the theory anyway. I'm guessing you can see what I'm seeing here. All of this shiny stuff in the water. Now it could look like that's polluted, but if I do this, you see how the oil fractures and breaks and it doesn't come back together? So this is actually a natural substance. This is bog oil. So essentially it's just natural oils coming out from the peat and from the bog up in the hillsides, and it collects in pools like this. Now if I poked it and it didn't disperse or fracture, then that is definitely pollution. That is petroleum, man-made oil. And to be fair, that's just the rawer version of that.
This stretch of footpath over a saddle between two peaks was, initially at least, much easier to navigate, allowing me space to enjoy the abundant wildlife, from wildflowers like ragged robin to huge birds of prey circling high above me, making them quite difficult to identify.
Whoa, no way! Look at that! Oh, what a view! So that there is officially the sound of Bara. That's where we're going, people. Time to catch a ferry. Oh my gosh, we made it. We made it! Oh, that's a relief. That was a long old downhill actually. I rolled my ankle. They seem to have just got really vulnerable over the last couple of years, and the pain is shooting through my foot with every step. I'll be alright. I will be healed by the Loch of the water lilies. That's what we're going to pass now on the left.
The Loch was a tranquil spot, and given its name, I wasn't at all surprised to see lots of water lilies upon its surface. From there though, it was over a stile and onto the road, for about 100 metres or so, before I turned back up into the boggy hills.
Alright, into the hills and over the top. Just to help with the energy, I have got an electrolyte in here, which makes that look a very disturbing colour. Oops, I fell over. As you can see, I sort of slipped and landed on a rock with my leg. There's definitely one of the risks of walking in a place like this, just slipping. And I'm pretty stable on my feet, bar the ankles at the moment. I'll clean that up when I get to the ferry anyway. Wow, that's bonkers, look at that. Iris grey in the background. I mean, you're showing off their sign. Jeez. Just full on panorama here. It's just like walking down towards a model village. The different coloured roofs of houses, the higgledy-piggledy little roads, kind of thing you'd expect to see Postman Pat on. And yes, I am of that generation. I have to say, I'm trying to keep morale high, but I will be glad when I get off this hill. It tests stamina, I think, and definitely your motor skills. If you're unstable on your feet, get out and do more walking before you come and tackle this, because the slipperiness is real. Actually, maybe cross-country skiing might work better, or downhill. Since it seems to be downhill, I keep rolling over. Oh, hi sheep. Are you guarding this massive rock? I mean, where the flip has that come from? Has it fallen down? No. It's absolutely massive. It's not my best angle, but I mean, that's some big rock. And I don't know why that's there, but that's actually surprisingly helpful. I'll take that. Thank you.
Parking the oddities of things found in the hills just over the brow I was greeted with epic views across not only the Sound of Barra, but also its airport, the only one in the UK where planes land and take off on sand. I stood for far too long, watching a little red plane ferry up and down, then launch into the sky, up and away from the dazzling lands around.
That was so exciting. I know it's just a plane taking off, but that's just really exciting. Actually, I do like planes, to be fair. I wanted to be a pilot when I was growing up. Somehow I'm making a living hiking a long way instead. Yay! We made it! Oh, that's quite tired. Am I not supposed to be here? How do I get across this? Ow! Oh, ow! We made it! Tarmac! Yay! And here's the airport. Oh, there's another plane. When did that arrive? There's a blue Scottish one. Oh, I missed that. Too busy fighting the jungle. Now, as much as I'd like to just have a little nap on the beautiful wide sandy beach, I have to move because I haven't worked this hard to miss the ferry. So onwards it is, along the road, last mile maybe, not sure, to the ferry port.
The beauty of the beaches was unbelievable, and the walk along the road relaxed me somewhat. I felt 100% immersed in nature, and I enjoyed spying for shiny shells and watching bird life, such as geese and chattering starlings, go about their daily tasks. And then one of my passionate loves, wildflowers. Cocosmia, scabiscus and heather, all dancing this way and that in the afternoon breeze. It was a vibrant and colourful walk, and I loved it. Thankfully, the beauty of the day hadn't prevented me from reaching the ferry in time. In fact, I had a few minutes to spare. The place was not quite what I imagined though, as before me sat a squat little hut for checking in, and that was about that.
The ferry's just arriving. The wind's really picking up, it's getting quite cold, but then I did sweat a lot. Anyway, give it a moment and then all aboard. It's exciting.
Yeah, you can just go down.
Cheers, thank you. Well, island number 3, it is Vatersay. It's freezing. That was a very interesting experience. A little narrow compartment to sit in, but very relaxing. And to be honest, now I'm just going to try and find somewhere to camp. So here's my guidebook and map. I'm a bit torn about what to do, really. The thing is, there's not a lot of daylight left, and I'm not going to make it to the campsite in time before it gets dark. It's another 9 kilometers away, so I'm kind of just here.
To be honest, I was feeling a little bit panicked. Pre-trip, I had planned to wild camp at a nearby Loch off the trail, but now, feet on the ground, I felt wobbly and insecure.
Okay, so the footpath literally goes along the beach there to the village and then the causeway, and on it goes. So I'm going to leave the trail and continue on up this road. I keep thinking I'm decided, and then I'm like, no, I'm not decided. I'm sure the Loch would be fine. I'm just having a weird feeling, and I can see there's quite a lot of cairns around it, as in burial cairns. So do you know what? I've got a road, it's just road all the way to the campsite. I'm not going to be there till like 9 PM. I think I'm just going to do it. I feel a bit stupid because I've missed the beach. But never mind. If I can hitch a lift, I will.
I felt pretty scrambled up inside. Wild camping hasn't always come naturally to me, and in this instance, the fears blocked decision making, and stepping back, I realised the best thing I could do was to just keep walking. That was until a solitary car drove past, and I just so happened to stick out my thumb.
Here we go, I'm asking for a lift. Hi. I hesitated then.
Where are you going?
I was just going to wild camp somewhere, but I was just thinking maybe I could try and get to the campsite, the other side of the causeway.
Yeah, fine.
Is that? Oh, thank you. I'll chuck this in the boot, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. There we go. Well, that was my first hitchhiking experience, and I'm now at Kilbride campsite. I had no plans to be here, just kind of followed my gut, and that was fun. Okay. Man, they are soggy. Them waterproof socks ain't so waterproof, as you can see. Well, the tent is up and I am on a campsite. I'm still just trying to figure out what happened, but I don't know, it's good. I feel like sometimes things just happen and you can't think too much. You just go with the flow, and that's kind of what just occurred. So now I've left Eriskay. I didn't really get to explore it because I missed the beach and followed the road, and now I'm here on South Uist. It's been a really good day. It's felt like 3 days in one, really loaded, quite tough going. So yeah, I feel like I just need a bit of a mental break, and I have zero regrets about just having caught a lift the last 9 kilometers, because it is my trip. And I think that's something I'm trying to learn more and more. If my gut says do something, I've just got to do it. So I did it, and now I'm here. And on that note, it's time to eat some nice things. Not that I actually have that much, but still, nice things. So I will see you in the morning. Sleep well, and get ready for day 2 on the Hebridean Way. So on rainy days like today, the first thing I always do is take down my inner. I'm using a Hilliberg Ennen, and the outer quite often gets wet with condensation, or at least is damp. And the inner can get a bit wet, but I like to just try and protect it, because if I mesh them together when I pack them up, this thing would be soaked, and then that's my safe, dry sanctuary. So I take it down, it's really no big deal, I don't mind, and then this one goes away separately. Alright then, day 2, Hebridean Way. Let's get it done. Feels good to be moving. I have to say, whilst days like this don't lend themselves to good filming conditions, this is an important thing to experience, because these islands, for generations since people arrived here, right up until the present day, have operated and evolved around the sea. The maritime weather still does play a massive role in the industries here, and you can't just always expect it to be sunny, and it's not. So it sort of makes me feel a little bit more connected to the people of the past. And in addition to that, today we are going to be going past quite a few standing stones and historical sites, so I'm looking forward to sharing those with you as we stumble upon them. This path is actually pretty narrow, and I have soaking wet feet, but perhaps most curious of all is there are so many slugs, and they're massive. Look at them. I'm surprised I didn't get eaten by slugs in the night. Nom 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 nom. Slug, 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 slug. You might wonder why I'm wearing sunglasses, but it's basically because it keeps the hair out of my face most of the time. And I have a strong belief, if you're wearing sunglasses, it encourages the sun to come out.
I quickly got irritated by the soggy long grass, and so chose to drop down onto the beach, which ran parallel alongside. Initially, it proved to be a great decision, as there was loads to look at, including a small fishing vessel bobbing up and down in the turbulent waters. Now in this big, wide, open space, I felt like a weight had been taken off my shoulders, and I absorbed everything, from the tiny shells and flowers to the raindrops that splattered all over me.
Alright, slight problem. We've got a water course. I didn't expect that. And I know that some of this sand is quite sinkery. That's the technical term. I don't want to risk it, so I'm going to try and get back up to the footpath. Oh mate, these waterproof trousers restrict me so much. I'm going to do what I never do and just go on my knees. Whee! There we go. We made it. You can just see there's so much cloud about, or rather sort of sea mist. It's really hugging the mountainsides, and on and off the buildings are swathed in it as well. Definitely quite atmospheric walking, but I'm really enjoying it. Finally feel like I've got some time to get in my head. The only thing that's annoying is my hair. Keeps blowing in my face.
Despite my hairy battle, this next leg proved far from dull. I was walking through arable lands, and alongside were resting piles of hay, stacked to air dry in a traditional manner. This ordinary task in preparing for winter felt fun and creative, and I certainly had a spring in my step. There were sheep and cows and an immense array of bird life, as the area provides a watery habitat for migrant and native species alike. A few miles on, and I passed by a couple of cemeteries, one clearly much older than the other, sitting atop a small hillock. There was meant to be the remains of a Bronze Age settlement near here too, where excavations uncovered 2 mummified bodies preserved by the acidic peat bog, but I was unable to find the place. Instead, I may have ended up in a golf course and found myself some coffee. You win some, you lose some.
Chunky. So there I am, just wandering along in my own little bubble, like, a golf ball. And I was going to go and film it, and then I realised that the golf balls had come from the people I was just filming. So maybe I was a little closer to getting my head knocked off than I thought. Wow, that's a good view. Look at this. There's the beach down there. That's a big cow patch compared to my foot. Never mind, let's go. Hi.
My day's journey to Howmore almost complete, and I found myself passing by one of the final points of interest for the day, Ormacleet Castle, a ruined manor house dating to the 18th century. It has a brutal and bloody history, yet despite this, I was surprised to see it looking so forlorn and forgotten.
We are so nearly there now. So I'm just coming out onto tarmac, and this road is going to take us all the way to Howmore. Now I've got 2 options, so I can either try and wild camp somewhere, or I can go to the youth hostel, and basically there's a private Gatliff Trust youth hostel there, old thatched croft building, and you can camp there for £12 or stay inside for £20. So I'm gonna have a look. I'm not really one for communal sleeping because I'm such a light sleeper and I wake myself up, let alone having any noise around. So we'll see how busy it is and I'll make a decision, but it seems like a nice option, and to experience traditional croft would be really nice actually. The crofts are the old farming buildings that people lived in when they worked the lands, and still do actually. Heading over the Howmore River, clues in the name, so close to Howmore now. I can see the chapel I've got to go past, and then the hostel's beyond that. But this is nice, good river. Not got a lot of words left, that's as much articulation as you're gonna get. And then an old croft there. And there's the chapel. Actually some trees on that house as well. And then here's the youth hostel. Oh, look at this. Proper nice space here. Jesus, very nice. So therefore, the white building must be the sleeping place. Ooh. Let's go have a look. I think I'm going to stay here though. Super nice. Oh wow, there's loads of rooms. Well, this is me. I've picked a bottom bunk and it seems comfortable enough. I'm just scouting out and trying to just listen to the sounds and things, because one of the struggling things that can, oh geez, I can't even forget my words. I like stutter and stammer. One of the things that can trigger my mind going haywire and seeing things and getting really quite flustered and bad is sounds that I'm not sure where they're coming from. So I am just listening and trying to recognise the sounds because it's windy outside, and that's going to be really helpful. And additionally, I have brought an eye mask, so I could always sleep with the light on and put my mask on if that's just helpful for me. So yeah, and I felt like I'll sleep by the door because then I can see. So it's good. I feel good. I feel in control of it right now. I feel a little unsettled, but I'm just going to work with it. And I'm amazed at the facilities here, I have to be honest. You know, there's USB sockets, there's the toilets, the showers, the kitchen, the living space. It's all really nice. So the warden came round and she said, use anything in the place since no one's here. And there was some salad and cheese in the fridge, so I've made some salad and cheese for dinner. There's no dressing on it except a bit of olive oil, and it'll do the job. The best thing about this is I have tea. I always carry my decaf tea bags on me, and there was some milk left, so I've made a brew. I'm very happy about it. So I'm going to sit here, read this book, which I just got off the shelf to have a look at, Scottish Wildflowers, and then just chill. Cheers to that. That's good. This is proper bachelor cooking. Rice and ketchup. Ugh. Whoa. Jeez. All right. Jeez. Morning.
Good morning.
Man, is that wet or is that wet? Well, I'm now here alone. So my new friend, Pineapple Man, as I'm going to name him to protect his name, has left, and I'm here by myself, which feels a bit weird again. It definitely was a saving grace having company last night. My head was kicking off quite a lot in the night. I was very jumpy, but I'm really pleased with how it went in general. I didn't expect to sleep a lot, and I didn't sleep a lot, but I feel fine for it. I feel like I have lots of options today. I could just stay in for the day because it's torrential out there, and actually do what a lot of people can end up doing on trails and adventures, which is hunker down from the weather. I've never done that before because usually I just march on through or I luck out with the weather. Super duper. All right, take care. Cheers. Bye bye. Oh, that's interesting. When a local says don't walk in this, I mean, you know, in different parts of the world, people can definitely underestimate your adventurous abilities. But when a local says do not go onto the moors with multiple repetitions, that's how you know you probably shouldn't go onto the moors. So yeah, he said there's buses, but you know what? I'm just going to give it some time. Well, whilst I'm here, the question is, What am I gonna do with this time? This is my explosion. I've been reading this, I've been working on this, I've been making notes for another film. I've decided it's time for a walk. It stopped raining, it's just really windy. Wind isn't really a problem, it's just annoying. But it's too late for me to walk the entire way to the campsite. Obviously I'm wild camping, so I can camp anywhere. But the rain is due in really heavy again at 6 with 45 to 50 mile an hour gusts. The visibility is really cleared, but I can't make a decision whether to stay here tonight and just actually keep my gear dry. I've never been worried about the rain. I don't know what's happening. I feel like I'm having a bit of a mental malfunction. Maybe I just need to play the drum again. But this is definitely not my strongest point, is sometimes just making decisions. And generally I'm not very good at it when I'm static. So the best thing I can do is go for a walk. So I'm just going to walk up to the church and maybe along to the coast. I'll see. Of course I'll bring you guys with me. So let's go. I've come down to the chapel that's outside the hostel, which is just up there, the ruins. Let's have a look at how old some of these gravestones are. I mean, that's if you can interpret any of that. Oh, that's wet. Nope, no idea. 1939. Jeez, that looks way aged for 1939. Oh, maybe this is the Commonwealth War grave. What's the date of that one? 1875. I'm just gonna hunker down for a wee second. I feel like it's time. It's time to be honest with you guys. Honestly, I'm relieved to get out of the wind. No, that's not it. Use humour to cover up pain. Such a classic human thing to do, isn't it? Now, the truth is I'm really struggling. And the decision about catching a bus, walking on, none of it matters. It's not that's the problem. The problem is I just feel really crushed in spirit. I'm feeling low. I'm fighting, I'm playing the drum, I'm trying to just bring myself back out, but I'm struggling. I feel like I've lost sight of who I am and what I'm doing with this platform. I feel like I'm caught up in a race I never signed up to run. I feel like I've lost my creative freedom because I'm so crushed by all the noises and voices in my head of things people have said. I feel like I can't even be honest about what it's like being a public figure because you're gonna get charged for defamation of character. But in the last year, you know, I've had somebody try to take me to court for exactly that reason, bearing in mind the truth is completely the opposite. I've said nothing about them in the public sense. And there's no way I can live up to people's expectations. But the truth is I'm very often not doing this for me anymore. I'm doing it for people pleasing. I'm not doing it for the bigger picture. I'm doing it to keep people happy. My head is just always ringing with, you know, how many social posts do I do? Is this going to upset someone? Can I be honest? How is somebody going to read this? Am I sharing too much? Am I sharing too little? Is there too much of my face on camera? Is there too little? Like, I look through my footage and I just feel sick, because whilst I've had an amazing experience, I have to put it together into something I have to put into the public eye. I get to put into the public eye. And it's so hard, because all I can hear is the criticism. And you talk to people about it and they just say the classic, oh, focus on the good things, you know. But unless you're in this situation, it's just impossible to understand. And I have to say, I feel like I'm becoming more sympathetic towards celebrities when they go off the rails and do stupid things, because sometimes you just feel so frustrated at the world. You can't escape it. Like, you go offline, but you can't escape it. This is what I get to do. I live a life of meaning and purpose. Like, I'm so blessed. I'm not lucky, because I've worked my butt off, and I do so every single day. Do you know what? I've been doing this full time since 2018. I've been making films since I was 13. When was that? I don't know. A while ago. I'm 26 now. And you're just criticised from day one. I know it should be a case of, oh, maybe I need thicker skin, but also I'm a very sensitive and empathetic person, and that's what makes me me. And if I grow thicker skin, which I can, I become bitter, I become resentful, I become angry, and that's toxic. It's toxic for me, and it means I can't do what I'm born to do. So I feel stuck. I feel stuck because I want to be out here, but I'm finding it so hard. I'm not enjoying it because I can't escape my head. And this isn't mental health. This is emotional abuse that comes from the public space. And there's no consequences for these people. And I'm not necessarily, am I about justice? I don't know, but I'm not about punishment in a sense, but I am about people being told that this is not okay. And I feel like I'm going to say this and people are going to be like, oh, you know, don't take it personally. People are just expressing their own things. Like, the bullies are being bullied. And it's like, well, they can just, excuse my French, but just f*** off. This is intense. This is so intense. But I hike. I started hiking. I started getting outside in order to help manage my mental health and well-being. And when it becomes your job, it twists, it changes. And this whole be a YouTuber thing, like, the realities are so different from the expectations. I never set out to do this. I just want to protect nature and I want to help people. It's as simple as that. Why do people judge you when all you want to do is do good? And I have nothing but love. I have nothing but love for everybody. I can see through everybody's mistakes because I see the human, because do you know what? I have been the most distraught, broken person these recent months, or this last year. Just everything is really just, it's suffocating me. I feel like it's a really thick weighted blanket that's just on my chest all the time, and I can't think straight and I can't breathe, and I come outside to try and escape it, but then I feel like I should be filming, and then when I'm filming I feel like I should be taking time off. And maybe this is a rant because I am entitled to a rant. I can rant. I don't have to please everybody. I'm going to say things that piss people off. I'm going to make decisions that people don't like. So I'm in a big phase right now trying to figure things out. And I know that by the time this film comes out, I'm going to be in a completely different space. But this is right now. This is the 21st of September, 2022. And I feel like I'm fighting for my life. And the Hebridean Way is the thing that's keeping me going, because I have to walk. I want to walk, I get to walk. It's something that's giving me purpose right now. And that's one of the main reasons why I came out here to do this trail, is to work through this head stuff. I don't think it's going to be healed. I don't think I'm going to sort it out, but it's giving me something to focus on instead of just my head. I've done the journey over the years and I'm strong. I knew that getting outside would just release some of this. I have no idea if this is going to go in the film or not, but it feels a bit good to get off my chest. Oh look, breath for the first time since leaving home. Should we go find some shells? I have to go snot. Thanks for listening. What? No way! That's the biggest shell I've ever found. Silver linings and all that. That's bonkers. I don't know if something's alive in it or not, but I found it. Maybe now I finally get to shout into the wind. I am wild! That was a close one. Hey, back on the Hebridean Way. Linus Slate, that's where we're headed, 1.1 miles. And with that, good morning. Welcome to day 4 of the Hebridean Way. The sun is shining, my soul is shining. It feels really good to be out on the trail. So I caught a lift with Pineapple Man, which was amazing because it means I didn't have to wait for the bus. It was a bit of a mad rush, but so happy. I ran into Co-op, got some supplies as you've seen, and now we're on the road to the beach. Well, great! Who ordered the rain? What is this? Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Great, now I'm Australian. This is ridiculous. Batten down the hatches, people! Oh my god. Quick! Help! Woo! All the nice shells. Oh, you know. It's probably worth me mentioning that we are now on the next island, Benbecula. We crossed over via the causeway in the car earlier. I have to admit, it all feels a bit chaotic. It's hard to keep up with when you're on another island, unless you go on a causeway or ferry, I don't know. But I feel a bit more level-headed. I feel like I've left some demons behind me, and I'm a bit more focused and game on, you know? Oh, there's a jellyfish. So this is something I've never done, but I'm trying out these new waterproof socks, and look how long they are. This is really why I hike alone. Everyone's too embarrassed to hike with me. I don't blame them. Big bird of prey that's just landed down on the beach. I don't know what it is, but it's not a buzzard. I'm really hoping it's a sea eagle because they're just amazing. Welcome to paradise! Woo! Look at this, man! Just beach in every direction. feels extra special because I had a really quite spiritual experience yesterday. It doesn't need to go in this film, but the message, man, the message. They're all around us, you know, and you just gotta want to see them. You gotta get out on the trail, open your heart, open your mind, and there's always things to be learnt along the way. So I'm in Nunton now. The path actually goes not through the village, and there's a distillery and heritage centre, so I think we'll go and have a little look there.
The North US Distillery is a family-run business, famous for its whiskey. Now, I don't drink, but I was sad to have missed the opening hours for the day, as it's always nice to explore local businesses. Nearby, however, was a standing stone and an ancient cemetery, offering plenty of history to take a deep dive into instead. A short while on, and I turned a sharp right, leaving the main road in favour of an apparently smaller one, even though it was equally as empty as all the other roads I'd walked on so far. It was here, however, that I had a heart-in-mouth moment, as a golden eagle took flight right over my head. To me, an omen of courage, wisdom and truth.
Ahead of me right now is the highest hill on Benbecula Ruabal, and that's where we're headed up to now.
Oddly, the route here took me past a waste disposal and recycling site, which sat right on the edge of wild lands. Whilst it was a rather curious experience, I was thankful to move past quickly, soon finding myself getting up close and personal with a traditional fuel, peat. Peat covers much of the Hebrides and can often reach a thickness of 20 feet. Peat cutting and drying is a highly organised and manual task that often involves the whole family. Seeing these peat beds in action was certainly a thought-provoking sight.
I mean, in England they're trying to do peat and moorland restoration, and this is it in action, as in the opposite. Peat's an amazing carbon source, and when you dig it up and you burn it, you release that carbon, so it enhances the effect of global climate change.
All this deep and meaningful thinking had whetted my appetite. It was time for coffee!
Oh boy, I can already tell you this is going to be one of the best views so far. Woo! Bring on the summit! Oh my word, this is unbelievable! Look at this! Jeez. Whoa. Well, to be quite blunt, I'm lost for words. The sea, the lochs, the tiny little model villages, the mountains, or hills at least. Gosh, well that was worth the climb. Ah, man down. Can you see how I've fallen? Almost at the splits, my right leg went out in front of me. Oh, jeez. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, that has got to be a record. Oh. Oh. Ah. Ah. Go hiking, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Liars. Ready? Steady. Oh my gosh, we made it. Number one piece of advice: if you're gonna walk the Hebridean Way, pack collapsible wellies. We've hit the road. That was actually pretty good fun. I'll do that again. You just gotta take it with a pinch of humour and lots of slipping and sliding. Okay, so Grimsay, the next island, 2.1 miles. Skittish. I do have to be honest, the cars here either slow down and are really polite, or they just carry on at their national speed limit. It's a bit terrifying. So I just feel like I jump out of my skin every time a car goes past. I'm actually keeping my stick in my left hand because there's a bit of an incentive for cars to not come too close because they'll damage their cars.
It felt bizarre to suddenly be around cars and actual busy traffic, so rather than get irritated, I instead put my focus on the ever-changing hodgepodge of terrains around me. Turquoise waters, vibrant seaweeds, epic mountains, sea lochs and lapping waves, and chickens, oddly enough. Soon I found I had crossed onto Grimsay, a tiny island that's 4 miles long and 2 miles wide, not to be underestimated in my opinion. I wasn't on its grounds for too long though, soon arriving in South Uist, the second largest island in the Outer Hebrides.
Why am I not doing that trail? The Outer Hebrides food trail? That sounds good to me. I mean, it's shellfish, which I don't eat, but still. Food trail. Count me in. Whew. Alright. Signage. Loch U Fort. It's apparently 2.8. I don't even know what that is. Just a loch. And we're heading this way through the sort of mini forest thing. Probably a quarry. Safety hats must be worn. What? Hebridean Way. Oh well, let's go. Actually, this is great because this is our first example of the traditional raised turf paths that people used to use to get around here. Imagine trekking through this bog to get anywhere. There had to be a solution, and this is it. Essentially, they dig up the peat either side and create a drier path, a raised turf path, and seems to be doing the job right now. I thought I saw some earlier in the walk, but this is a much better example. This thing is determined to have a shot for the day.
Although I couldn't get super up close, the road here passed by an old pier and abandoned fishing station, leaving me to imagine this coastal loch playing host to a vibrant and lively community.
Here we go. Lang last, 1.5 miles. I know the day's not over, but I have to be honest, I really enjoyed it. I'd hope this would be the effect of a day cooped up inside. But also the terrain has changed so much every day. It's not been monotonous, but very interesting. The weather's definitely helped. Jeez, this light is gorgeous. Old fishing station around there. I mean, that's a rain cloud, but can't touch this. All around here, the mountains, the Loch. So this side is seawater and this side is freshwater. See, that's seaweed. That's not quite right. Hang on. I'm not sure about this. No, that's definitely seaweed. Okay. But it also definitely shows it as being freshwater on my map. Maybe it's just been washed up in here? If I get salt water in my water filter, it's redundant. And I'd rather not have that. Can you hear that? Water. Now that I can use. Alright, the ground kind of disappears, so I need to do this carefully. 1 litre, 2 litres, 850. Ideal. Ah! I thought now that I have water and a water source, I'd just come up and see if I can find somewhere to pitch. It's just heather, which is no problem. Oh, it gets colder when that sun starts to disappear. Trouble is, a lot of this is sort of tidal estuary kind of situation. I mean, heather makes for a very nice cushion. That's mad, that is. Look at that. Huh, this could possibly work. Not that you can see because the sun's so bright. A bit humpy bumpy, but it'll do the job. I'm looking across actually at a stone circle and there's a really nice flat grassy bit and I was going to camp there, but I really don't fancy camping around like a Neolithic Bronze Age thing. It just feels a bit spooky. So I'm here looking at it over there. But no, all good really. So that's another day done. I'm excited for tomorrow. Gonna get going same time as usual, and in the meantime get some food, get some sleep, and that's that. Same as every day. Morning, morning. How's about we go get to island number 8 today then, eh? Good night's sleep under our belt, some good food in our tummy. It's time to hike. It's day 5 on the Hebridean Way. Alright, we are off. I just had a bit of a tantrum because it started to really heavily rain just as I got everything out of my tent. So I had to scurry to sort it all out. And I just got a bit grumpy. I was like, why? Why now? That's a cool bridge. Like an S shape. Here's the hotel and restaurant specialising in local seafood. Here's the stone circle I was talking about. So I was camped in the hills over there, looking across to these stone circles here, or this stone circle.
This stone circle is thought to date from the 2nd millennium BC, and although all of the stones haven't been excavated, it sits in a breathtaking location.
You know, I think sometimes parts of this route can feel a bit random. Why does it go up there? But then you get up here and it's like, this is why it comes up here. I mean, look at this. The islands ahead, the mountains around. It's just stunning, it really is. And the added benefit is you warm up very quickly. Man, I've got to take these waterproofs off. Trees! I haven't seen trees since I arrived here. Oh, that's cool. This forest is actually a community experiment to see if they can grow trees here in such a harsh and exposed environment. And I'd say it's working. Oh, look at this, that's so nice.
It felt phenomenal to be amongst leaves and bark, and the atmosphere of the place was heavenly, with birdsong now replacing the empty sound of wind on heather. There was a real mixture of deciduous and coniferous trees, and a bear trail to follow, if you fancied an extra walk in your very long walk.
So this is the route of the old road, and this is the new one. Thankfully I can follow this because there's some big trucks on the main road. So this will take us all the way to Loch.
This next leg offered loads to enjoy, including yet more peat beds, with peat at various stages of harvesting, drying and bagging. I found myself fascinated by the process, and it was easy to imagine generations of families working the lands, stories being told and memories being made.
We made it to Loch. Bam. There's a fish farm there, probably farming salmon. Snacking on the go. Got my outdoor provision nut butter. This one, peanut, almond and raspberry. It's gonna be good. A bit of fuel. Feeling a bit tired today. I tell you what, these signs are really quite terrible. The distances just vary so much. It's just one of those days today. It showers, then it's hot, then it showers, then it's hot. That's my life right now. Goodbye road, hello bog. It's time to hike up there. So that's Ben Moor, and the guidebook says it's going to be very wet underfoot. And when the guidebook says it's going to be wet underfoot, I'm probably going to be swimming. Oh dear. Oh god, that's so slippy. Well, I can definitely imagine this taking quite a while. Ay, ay, ay. The thing is, there is always a way. It just takes a while to find it. Sometimes you end up with wetter feet than others, but there's always a way around it. Alright, look at this. So we've got a shell here, and then a little bit further on, just here, there's lots of shells and the remains of crab claws. So without a doubt, this is where otters come. So they probably come up from the water here. They use this hard rock as a base, and they crack into the shellfish and eat. That's really cool. Oh, it's gonna be a good view. Without a doubt, this has got to be one of the best views so far. First best, second best, I don't know, but up there in the best. Jeez, this is mad. It's an absolute minefield of bog. It's going well though, going well. Also, I'm struggling to keep moving because I just keep looking back like, what? Oh my word, that is insane. It's like Hawaii or something. Wow, look at this. It feels next to impossible to describe this scene. There's just so much going on. You know, I'm only 5 days in, and I have to say I'm really enjoying the variety on this trail. Every twist and turn brings something new. From the coast to the hills to the views. It's just making me really happy. It's so rewarding. Woo! Outer Hebrides, you gem! Oh, that's nasty. It's just a water slope. So it's so hard not to slip. The bog is absolutely fine on the flat. It's when it's on a gradient that it's really tricky. You just got to try and keep the weight in your heels. It's definitely an art. I think that the producers of this trail could sell it as a bog walking skills course, because you're going to be pretty good at finding good paths after this walk. Well, goodbye Benmore. We've come along here and then down here and survived. So behind me is, in my opinion, one of the coolest archaeological sites so far on the trail, and it's a broch. So it's sitting within this loch and it's accessed via a little walkway, and basically between 2,000 and 2,500 years ago a family would have lived in this broch. So it's a house, a stronghold. It would have been sort of a tower shape. And my favorite thing about brochs is on the stone path that they'd build from shore to their broch on their little island is there'd be a rocking stone, so it would make a noise if someone walked over it, and that's how they would know if someone's coming to their land, to their broch. But obviously its location is extremely strategic. It's close to the coast. You've got the inlands for the animals here as well, fishing obviously on the coast. It's a cool little site actually. Hello road. Well, this is it. The last leg for the day to Berneray, island number 8. 3 kilometers to go. And I'm very happy because I'm gonna make the shop in time to do a bit of a resupply. Ah, nature. It's a fine line between you and I. Here we go then. I think this is the final causeway on our trip here, and this one was built in 1999. This is really not that old. It's crazy, isn't it? Ferry is there. That's where we'll be heading tomorrow morning. Berneray Shop and Bistro, that's this way, but perhaps most importantly, there's the welcome to Berneray sign. Island number 8, here it is, look, just on the right. It looks quite abandoned, but there's windows open, so I'm hoping all is going to be good. Hi there.
Hi. How are you?
Yeah, grand, and you?
Good, good.
Good. Oh, falafel. Yeah. Wow, this is really nice. Ah, So this place I actually had to book on Airbnb. So it's not a bunkhouse in a traditional sense of you just rock up and get a room, kind of like a youth hostel. Another day, done. Boom, boom, whoa. I don't know what that was, never mind. Psst, do you want to know a secret? I found carrots in the fridge, in the free bunkhouse food. I don't want to buy a massive pack of carrots at the store. And now there's carrots, there's 2 carrots. I'm so happy. Now this is my kind of food. Oh man, the weirdness continues. So I'm currently sorting out food. I've got pasta and stuff for the next few days. And then everything else I'm trying to dry, sleeping bag and stuff. I've got some cards and things I'm writing. And then if you come out here, well, I had hung up my tent. Inner and outer. Outer is absolutely dripping. So I'm just trying to get them to dry. So just holding your tent up in the wind can be a really great way to get it to dry quickly. It's not even about the sun, it's the wind. Well, I mean, the sun helps. Just got a bit of patience, you know? Not a bad view. Very nice place. I always feel like a bit of a stowaway when I rock up past the cars in my backpack. Like, sup, I'm going lightweight, kids. Huh, just spotted this sign. Does that mean I'm halfway? High five. Boom. There's another hiker with a dog. Morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm grand, and you? Here we go. Been there, done that. There you go, mate. Hey, welcome to Harris, island number 9. Getting good at this now. Epic, that was a good ferry ride. So the task now is to find a store. I'm just gonna check it out on this side. And then hike, because that's kind of what we do, right? One of the first things I'm noticing about this place is there's more shrubbage. There are trees. Boom. Geez, it's much bigger than the one on Berneray. This stuff is a godsend. We're taking some of that. Okay, here's my advice. If you need a proper resupply, this is the place to come and do it. There's so much more choice than Berneray. I feel a bit sad because I would not have bought the pasta. I would have just gone smash the whole way. That mashed potato was good. But anyway, got myself some drinks. They've got a lot of co-op type stuff. And a little snack for now, and then we'll press on with the day. So I'm resupplied. My back is agony. My injury has really just flared up today. But yeah, hoping that this is gonna help and life's gonna help, and then we'll get walking. And this is it now. Basically, it'll be what it'll be. I'm quite excited because there's an adventure ahead. Cheers to that.
Lieverberg is the second largest village after Tarbert on Harris, and boy did it feel good to be on the second to last island too, despite only really being halfway on my Hebridean Way adventure.
Hey Anyo! Hey Anyo! This is Anyo. I met another hiker when I was on the ferry, which was super nice. First hiker I've seen. He's a cool guy. We're probably going to end up leapfrogging in the next couple of days. Alrighty, day 6, let it begin. So, fully resupplied. I have 5 days worth of food in my rucksack. Tell you what, that's rather heavy. And we're on Harris, which feels good. There are trees, there are people. We're gonna leave it all behind and walk into the glens. Let's go. Geez, right from the off, that is spectacular. Just the hills and the light and the water. What do you think, mate? Oh, I think you're ridiculous. You don't look like a sheep to me. Ah! Intruder!
Actually, these sheep are a good talking point. Harris is famous for Harris tweed, a hand-woven cloth made from virgin wool, dyed and spun by those living in the area. It's a craft that requires great skill and experience, and if you're in the area, I highly recommend picking some up to support local small businesses.
This is our turning off the road, and there's a good little gravel path to begin with. Whoa! Why? I'm constantly slipping, it's ridiculous. This has actually got to be the wettest section yet. It's deep stuff. So this is what I mean. Haven't really had this too much so far. It's no problem though. As I said yesterday, there's always a way. You can see a bike has gone through that, but I don't have wellies on. Heather is the solution. So that beach, my friends, is Skarasta Beach, and that's where we're headed for now. Whoa! I'm slightly back heavy, shall we say. Ah, man. Anyway, we are now on the road. This sign here is pointing out that essentially you can follow the way on the beach for a mile, as you can see, although we know that these things are not completely trustworthy. My guidebook does say though, if you don't fancy getting sand in your boots, just stay on the road. So that's what I'm going to do, and actually I've come to the decision I'm just going to stay on the road all the way to Horgabost. So all of the signs here have Gaelic first and then the English name. So Skarasta Biag, Skarista Veg. Ooh, veg. Vegetarian. Actually, that's a really fair point. What do you think about when you hike, Abbie? People always ask me that question, and shamefully, but also not. It's food. You're just hiking and you're just thinking about what you're going to get in the next shop. When is the next shop? When can you get some coffee? Just goes on and on. Food. Food. Welcome to West Harris. Look at this, just stretching on as far as the eye can see. No doubt from the hills up there this would be quite special actually, but I'm still on the way, just the cycle path. And then we've got one mound here, and then that second mound there, campsite's on the other side of that. Easy peasy. I wasn't too sure what to expect down here, because my guidebook makes out that it's a giant holiday resort, but honestly it's just, okay, a lot of holiday houses, but the sheep on the road is pretty quiet and it's really quite beautiful. I'm glad for this option. I'm enjoying it. I mean, if that doesn't prove a road's quiet, I don't know what does. Just chilling, eh? Do they have coffee? Do you have coffee? Let's go and take a look. First official coffee of the trail. Cheers to that. I'm not gonna lie, I was seriously just looking at that like, why not make it happen? And then it says do not camp, so that's why not. Alrighty. Coffee, and I actually ate some food as well. I just feel completely flaked. I don't know what's going on this trip, but I'm not feeling right. I feel alright in my body, but then I am just plodding on. But in my mind and just my general level of energy is down. So I thought, well, I've got to walk to the campsite anyway to then turn up to the trail. So I can scout it out, see what the situation is, and then make a decision.
I like your shades.
Thank you.
They look good in the light. You see them?
They come in handy when eventually it is sunny.
When it's sunny.
Yeah. Home for the night. Just you wait, because that is going to be our view. Now this is what I'm talking about. I might have had to pay a tenner to be here, but I have an hour of daylight left, max, and I can just sit and look at the view and just be calm and quiet and breathe. It's been a really good day. I know for a lot of people it would have been boring, perhaps it's not been that adventurous, but I've really enjoyed it. I'm enjoying the plodding. I still feel like I'm on a journey from south to north. I don't really care that much what route I go. The main thing is just having a good time, making progress and staying safe. And I feel like I'm ticking all of those boxes, and I'm definitely creating my own wild journey here, just making it up as I go along, quite frankly. My feet look like proper trail feet now. This toenail has died. I've got all this blackness, basically bog, and parts of my sock. This is a little bit raw, not too bad. And then they're just generally just shriveled and looking quite mouldy. Beautiful. This is healing nicely though, so pretty happy about that. Welcome to day 7 on the Hebridean Way. I'm up and I'm moving, and my goal today is to move fast, see how far we can get before the weather really comes in. What was that? I don't know what that was. I'm gonna utilize this gate because I need to be this side of the fence. Who has time for tying knots? Oy. There we go. Take 2. Note to fellow viewer, I don't know where the path goes there, but that was not the way. Actually, now that we're in this compound, you see these strips here. So these are what they call lazy beds, where essentially, again, kind of like the raised paths, it's been built up so that farmers could grow crops like potatoes and oats. Just life out here was and still is so harsh. You know, just the connection to the modern world is really just not quite there. I mean, we've talked about many of these causeways only being built in the 1990s. It's the same with the roads, you know. Only after the advent of the Second World War did many of them get constructed. So it's a era behind almost. And no matter what, you can't change the environment, you can't change what can and can't grow here. All you can do is adapt new skills and techniques to try and at least eke a living out here. Where's the next one then? Oh, I think it's down there. Geez, that's quite a long way to have to spot. That's a good 100+ meters. No bother, let's go. Enjoying this view as well. Didn't expect to have one, so pretty happy about that. The route essentially goes up over here now, and this fence goes around and along, just not quite as steep. I'm not really sure which I want to choose, to be honest. Yeah, there are times where I end up feeling a bit annoyed because the guidebook suggests that this view is his favourite and it's really worth the effort. So far I disagree. But then I'm not at the top yet, so that might change things a bit. I've opted to do a bit of both, find my own way around. Huh. I'm actually having to navigate this quite carefully now. I've just checked on the map. That's the 1 to 50, and this is a very craggy area. So the last thing I want to do is just step off the edge of a crag. I really, you know, I don't know. It's just not for me the best way to experience this landscape. It's kind of quite, it's just, what are the words I want to say? It's sad. I could just be down there. It's a Sunday morning. It's going to be dead on the road. Just poodling along, enjoying the scenery. And instead I'm up here. And don't get me wrong, it's quite fun, but I don't know, you win some, you lose some. So there's all these hidden drops as well, which I'm having to be careful of. But anyway, now I'm walking around a crag, which is not particularly safe because it's so slippy. Thankfully, I know what I'm doing. Except then. See what I mean? It's just maddening. It's really frustrating. At least, in a really dangerous spot, put some flipping signs up. The rock is so much safer. So according to my map, I'm now above the path. That's just stupid. There's no way there's a path down there. This is ridiculous. It's so unsafe. I mean, the winds are not helping, but man, it's annoyed. What a waste of time this is. Absolute waste of time. I can't get too close to the edge. The wind is just too strong. I've just got to take my time. Okay, I can get down there. Oh, jeez. Okay, there's the fence. Yeah, look, that's a nice step over, hopefully. Are you with me? Do you know what? Even this infers that other people have come this way. I'm actually really anxious now because I know there's some big crags here. I think I'm going to go back on myself and loop around. See these rocks? That's where I just was. Just on the edge of those. That was so stupid. Oh well, I'm fine. Ah, there's a hole in the fence there. That's one less that I have to jump. Just commit. There we go. Alright, I'm off. I'm off the flipping hill. I don't like you. That was wild, which was fine. But let's get to the road now. Hopefully I can. There's a fence there. I'm sure they won't mind. We made it. Tarmac. Man, alright, what went wrong there? I chose not to follow the path. I thought I'd be smart. Got into a bit of a pickle and then evacuated. That's what's wrong there. Really, you just need to go straight over the top. You, my friend, are unfinished business. I'll be back. So I'm about to join the coffin route, which is interesting because basically during the Highland clearances, or the clearances here in Scotland, people were moved from the west and some people tried to take up a living in the east, which is very exposed and harsh, and it's not the sandy beach kind of environment. But when they died, they were carried through the hills back to the west side to be buried, and that's the route I'm going to be following. Oh my gosh, just sorting my pack, and look who it is. It's our hiker friend with his dog. He caught me up. Hey! Hey, hey, hey!
No, I'm good, I'm good. Down to 1 point. Oh sorry, it was 1.6 and I brought it down to 1.
Whee!
Over you go.
He's such a good boy. Man, the timing for company is unreal. But it's cool. It's very good underfoot. It's a bit West Highland Way actually. And very dramatic with the hills. Wind's definitely picking up. You can feel it. Storm is on its way. And look at this. Actual hikers. That's the first. Hi.
Hello. Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not used more than 2 today, so I've got the other 2, but yeah.
It's a nice loch in here. Again, like so many places, it could be a good spot to wild camp, but then it's so tussocky and wet. You can make it work, but it's also very exposed.
And then yeah, I was like, okay.
Another sort of locking down there, and this path just undulates through the hillside. I wouldn't be surprised if in a few years this is how the trail actually ends up. If it's just like this, just a winding path that's gravelled, it's really straightforward. And it's a nice way to truly experience the landscape rather than bog hopping 101.
Get a wetsuit,
Yeah.
do some of the locks and stuff.
So we have this old ruin here, and just gonna see how sheltered it is inside. Oh mate, little haven I think. Anya's like, yep, this is cool.
Well, I'm definitely
Time to crack on, eh?
hide behind.
Yeah. Enjoy.
See you later.
Bye buddy. Okay, let's just get down and we'll batten down the hatches. I actually need more water as well. I might just get myself to do that too. We have a problem. I seem to have lost my water filter. It is gone. It is not in here. Where on earth has that gone? I know exactly where it is. It's at the campsite. I left it on the side in the kitchen. That's really inconvenient. That definitely makes my decision to go to the hostel tonight much simpler, because I need to conserve gas. I'm gonna have to boil my water. Oh, I'm gutted. I'm gonna see if I can get a refill here. I appreciate that, thank you. Take care. All right, we've got water. Waterproofs are on. The wind is really picking up, but I think we're gonna be fine. I'm just gonna have to make use of the local community, just knock on doors if I need water. And otherwise, it's good that I've got the youth hostel tonight to stay in. I feel like this trip is just rammed with all sorts of weird and wonderful things happening. It's a standoff. You're all right, sheep. So you see all these houses dotted along the shore here, tiny little communities of fishing houses generally. Many people here still hold down 2 jobs, whether fishing or some other industry like sheep keeping, even weaving. It's really not stuck in the past, but it's tough out here. Man, that wind. So the way comes down here, joins the road. 10 miles to Tarbert, but that's along the way. So these are the hills we were just in, pretty much engulfed now. The sheep be like, it's a normal day. Don't need to worry about anything. Just be happy now. And then they all come together. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy now. Alright, main road. I have no idea how sensible this is going to be, but let's give it a shot. As you can see, beautiful picnic spot, beautiful view. Can't deny that even in this raw and buzzing state, there's something really amazing about this place.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm at the hostel. My cameras all died because the rain just came down, man. It was that biblical at one point. And then the winds were so strong. That was intense. And I actually feel quite gutted today because I was really looking forward to that stretch along the coast. I really debated sort of just turning down one of the tracks, but there's no point. Like, you can't enjoy it or experience anything in this weather. So I'm here, and it's funny enough because I've bumped into a few cyclists who sort of seen along the way, and everybody's had a rest day today. No one's left. So I actually feel quite proud of myself for just getting out in this weather. It is what it is, you know. I've already vowed that I'll definitely be coming back to the Hebrides, Outer Hebrides, to, well, with the van, come and explore. Maybe I just feel a bit worn out. That was quite a battle. Quite a battle. Look at that. Pure joy in a cup. Thank you, mate.
You're welcome.
It is another day on the trail. What day is it? Day 8? Day 9? I don't know what day it is, but I'm here and I'm gonna walk it. As you can see, I'm buzzing. I don't need the caffeine, but I want it. Let's drink this, then let's get hiking.
Tarbert proved to be an interesting place, tucked away on a narrow spit of land between two lochs. It's the main port and village on Harris, and home to the Isle of Harris distillery, which opened in 2015.
This is a medium.
Okay.
I got the...
That's also helpful. Well, coffee has been drunk, rain has come and gone. I've managed to do a bit of shopping, got some souvenirs and a belt. Perhaps most importantly of all, my trousers have been falling down and it's been so annoying. So I've got a belt and also post office, send the girlfriend postcard and all that. And this is it. We are on our way. No real plans today. Just walk as far as we walk. Look at this. This is what we couldn't see yesterday. The sea, the islands, the beauty. And what is this that we have found? The wee craft shop. Let's have a look. Nice. Oh, scones. That's terribly tempting.
The road carried me 2 kilometres up into the hills, presenting a totally different landscape from what the way had previously offered.
Jeez, look at that. It actually looks like we're walking into the mountains. Very different landscape to anything else so far. Lovely. A landscape shaped by ice, sculpted by glaciers thousands of years ago. The U-shaped glens, rocky summits, boulder-strewn hillsides. There are large areas of bare rock that have barely changed since the ice retreated. It's like blue sky versus cloud. Who's gonna win? The thunder or the sun? Gosh, you know what? That could be one of my favourite views so far. Proper mountain environment. Look at this. It's bonkers. This is so nice. Man, once again, no doubt that the blue skies help, but there's something about the rocks here, the glacial shaping of the environment, leaving them all exposed. The southern islands have the beaches, that's the appeal for me, but I found the moors so bleak and desolate, and here there's rocks to break it up. And it adds depth, it almost adds character. It's a very strange thing to say, but I feel almost comforted by the rocks. Feels a bit like Snowdonia, it's homely. Rocks and comforting. Man, I must be living a hard life.
That shower is over. It's time for a jam sandwich. I took the liberty of making some jam sandwiches whilst I was at the hostel. It's pure carbs and sugar. What more do you need? Oh, this is the Harris Walkway. Follow the old road to Tarbert. Oh, that's what I've been on. Huh. Nice. This view behind me is so much like what we would have missed yesterday by diverting along the main road. Like the bays, the eastern side of Harris. It really is such a shame. I find myself feeling a bit disappointed. But it is what it is. And at least we get this now. Still plenty more of Harris to enjoy. Although today we do cross into Lewis. I'll let you know when. Not gonna lie, this has been a good climb. We came through the glen here and then we just come up this road. It's gone like this. And with that, we've been climbing up to the main road. And that's what we're gonna follow for a wee bit now. Looks like the sheep are waiting for the bus. Here we go, main road with a flipping epic view. Off the main road again, into the hills. There's also some kind of running race going on. Every so often a runner goes past me. I'm just like, sup, they're like, sup, and then we're both like, you know?
This stretch of path was completely magical. A clear track to follow through a 360-degree landscape of mountains, lochs and immense geological designs, as well as tiny star mosses, carpet moss and wonderful rattling heather bushes.
I mean, I can't feel my cheeks right now, but that's partly because I'm smiling so much, not just the wind.
With a good path came good progress, and soon I had rounded the corner to reveal views over the scattered townships of Scaladale, Ardvorley and Bowglass. It was simply stunning.
The Harris Walkway was opened here by Cameron McNeish, president of the Ramblers Association Scotland, 2001. Nice. So we've just hit the road again, and actually this is sort of where we follow it now for quite a few miles, like 3 miles maybe, before climbing out. Look at that. I think they should call this place Land of the Rainbows. I can't even tell you how many I've seen on this trip, but they're so nice. Hi there. It is Abbie Barnes. Yeah, grand, and you?
Yeah, good, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
what's your name?
For you, Steve.
Steve, hi Steve.
Yeah, Sandy.
Hi Sandy.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the cutest cows.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah, just been...
Oh man. Steve's there, owner of those cows. Came to say hello. He's seen my videos. I should have traded it for a wee Highland cow scratch. Never mind. So good. There's a proper herd of coos up there.
If you love Highland coos as much as I do, you might be interested to learn that cattle formed an important part of the Scottish economy during the 18th century. Now in the Hebrides, the breed is smaller and black, unlike their mainland cousins, which are usually bigger and brown or red. The coos we're all used to seeing and know and love.
So you know I said I'd let you know when we've made it to Lewis? This is the bridge. This stream, this Alt, marks Harris and Lewis, the two separate isles. And by arriving in Lewis, we're officially onto our final island. All right, goodbye Harris, over the bridge, and hello Lewis. That's amazing. Island number 10. Another rainbow. Yeah. Hi there. All right. Hi. All right, bring it on. So we are entering into the A-line community woodland, which was actually started by the Forestry Commission in 1970 as a bit of an experiment to see what they can grow here. You've heard the story. Problem was that it attracted the pine beauty moth, which killed loads and loads of trees. And you can see here that it looks like the trees are covered in snow, or some of them. They're not, they're completely dead. It's the skeletons, it's all that remains, and that was caused by the pine beauty moth. And so the Forestry Commission handed it over to the community, and it's now a community run space that people can come and enjoy and spend time amongst beautiful trees. Man, look at this. These trees are just dead. That's bonkers. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. It's so surreal. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm in a forest, I feel the energy of the trees. And this place feels disturbing. I guess RIP trees. Man. It's crazy that one single species can cause so much damage. I'm laughing because as I say that, it's like, oh wait, what about humans? Never mind. Wow, look at this, man! How can you not fall in love with this? The trees, the water, the mountains, it's just spectacular. So my feet literally smell like they're rotting. It's just disgusting. I've got raws here now on my little toes, the same on the underside of this one and the same on the underside of this one. Otherwise they're not too bad. Here a little bit, but they just are so disgusting. I'm just soaking wet feet every single day. I seriously think I might have the beginnings of trench foot, man. It's just sick. So I'm gonna go douse them in the icy water in the stream and hopefully that'll help. But also there are ticks everywhere, so I feel very wary of having any exposed skin all of a sudden. I've just come out to wash my feet and there's a deer just over there behind that fence. Just chilling out. Well, I'm pretty happy with this situation. The time has gone very quickly. It's just astonishing how fast it gets dark here. The rain is coming and going and I'm continuing to boil water. But I was just thinking to myself, I'm just so pleased, you know, like it was only March last year, 2021, or maybe 2020. Doesn't even matter. The last couple of years that I've been working on facing my struggles of wild camping. And
I'm really definitely taking a lot more in my stride, and I'm working within those parameters, and I'm giving things time and space and consideration, and I'm really just quite pleased with that. Let's just drink nice warm things and close the door so the rain doesn't come in. I'll see you guys in the morning. This smash stuff, in my opinion, is one of the best things you can eat out here. It just tastes so good, and you just mix it in like this, and it absorbs the water, and then you have the most delicious filling meal. And then you can add like canned peas and sweet corn and stuff to it. Does the job. Morning everybody. Oh man, everything is wet. It's one of those days, but I don't care too much because I have my blueberry burst breakfast by tent meals. So I'm looking forward to this. Well, I had just taken down the inner of my tent and then this next pour down started. So I thought, stuff this from hiding, and I'm just gonna wait for it to pass. Hopefully it'll pass. And then I'll get down my outer and then we'll get going.
Let's go there. Blue sky. So we're on the road, literally and metaphorically, and we can follow this all the way to Vatersay if we want to. That's the next settlement and the last one really before Stornoway. Stornoway is pretty much only 25 miles away. On a nice summer's day, I'd crack on with that. I don't know whether I'm supposed to be on this path here or not, but I'm not, so I'm on the road. Man, like 1 second is torrential, and then the next is like actually quite nice. Hopefully the quite nice will last at some point.
A bit further on, during one of these quite nice spells, I passed a teardrop-shaped monument to Bonnie Prince Charlie and the Hebridean community who remained loyal to him throughout his time on the run.
Jeez. Oh, it's so mixed, the weather. I'm a bit annoyed with myself. I've missed my turning. I had my head down with my hood, just looking at the floor, because you look up and you get splattered. And I've missed my turning onto the moors. So now, all I can do is just follow the road. Look at that, that's a bright one. Wow, and there's a double. Here we go, here's the first village, Balanen. 5 kilometers long this one is, so that'll be fun. This morning is proving to be one of those mornings. Really quite cold. My hands are just like not quite working, so I've just stopped really in this bus shelter to get gloves out, and now I'm just finding myself inhaling most of my food. But yeah, it's nice when the rain stops. But yeah, it's really just bizarre thinking that I still have another night to go. I think I'm really ready to just be in the dry properly and not have to worry about ticks or which route to take or yada yada yada. So to take my worries away, I'm just straight on the outdoor provision nut butters. Ooh, my sluggish fingers. Get some fibre in and then we'll get moving.
This was a pretty flat moment for me. I had just run out of energy and, most significantly, want. When eventually I managed to peel myself from the shelter, I realised that enough time had lapsed for me to visit the Balanen Community Cafe, as it had now opened up for the morning. Upon arrival, I promptly collapsed onto the sofa and resumed my zoned out space, this time coffee in hand.
Well, this place is a godsend and also a huge curse because moving has been nearly impossible. So, Balalan, come to the community cafe if it's open when you come through, because man, everyone's so friendly there, and they're just, it's really nice. Here is our junction. So this track is going to take us onto the moors, and Howmore, apparently 5.1, don't know how accurate that is. That's the last village we've got to get to before the final stretch to Stornoway. So my plan is to get to Howmore and then find somewhere to camp around there, and then tomorrow just finish with the last leg to Stornoway. Oh my gosh, there's piggos! Look! Piggies! Oh, there's a tiny piggo right over there! This is where I just can't cope with the cuteness. Oh my gosh, pigs. I love pigs. Oh, look at him. Oh, it's a ha. Hey, piggo. Piggo. Hi. Oh, it's okay now. Oh, I love the pigs. I love the animals. They just make me feel very safe and secure. And just the pigs. One day I will be able to keep pigs and a donkey and maybe some fluffy Exmoor and Herdwick sheep. Hashtag life goals, you know? So I'm actually already a little bit confused. So there's a signed path over there, and I think that's actually my trail. Yeah, that looks disastrous. I'm not going there. Is that really where I want to be? Trouble is, the route comes from that direction. There were signposts back there. This is where I get wound up, I'm not gonna lie. It's just so weird because this plantation is not on the map. There's the one that was behind us, and that's it. How can an OS map not have a forest on it? Must be some mistake there. Back to the wet stuff. Whee. Here we go. Well, I don't know what it is, but the route people have just sort of given up. Like, there is no evidence that there's a path here. So this is where the GPS is going to come in handy. And a wee bit of map reading, I think. I really hope it's not like this for the next 5 miles. That will be quite distressing. Oh, I'm already distressed. Just freaking pissed off. You come off the road, you end up in this. Ah! So frustrating. Raised path all the way to flipping Howmore. Well, that's not true, is it? Now where the frick am I? I know I'm going to find the path, because I always find the path, because you have to find the path. But I'm annoyed. Just following this sheep path right now. I'm hoping once we get over the brow, I'll be able to see this route. I'm really struggling by myself to maintain positivity. It's just driving me around the bend. Combination of everything, the weather, just my rotting feet, everything. I'm not calling this fun anymore. It's just not worth it. Yeah, mate, I know how you feel. He had enough too. Poor sheepo. Jeez. The only positive is that apparently, according to this, I am actually on track. So, if this is the next 5 miles, what the frick? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go up there or something and see if I can see it. See if maybe I'm just missing something. There's just nothing, is there? That could be something, but it's the wrong direction. Yeah, no, that's not my path. This is my path It's supposed to go that way. I didn't know I was coming out to do the Cape Wrath. I thought I'd put that back for next year. Come on, let's loop round. That there looks half decently path-like. And then I'll just double check everything, but that could be us. Completely not what the guidebook says, or the app or anything. Told you I'd find the path. I found the path. That was total BS. I can't even tell you what to do. I don't even know. Come over the top. Ignore everything you're told. Ugh. Can't stay this bad. Just can't. Times like this happen, you know. I just feel like I'm so close to like breaking point. I don't know what it is about this walk. And I'll say I'm near my breaking point. Truth is, I'm not. I know I can go through more, I know I can do more, but do I want to? This is supposed to be my happy place, man, and like I just don't feel happy. You know, you also do the vital checks. Am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Am I tired? Am I in pain? What other things can be affecting this emotional space? It's just tough sometimes. The biggest battle is in your head, you know. It's all in the head. Everything's in the head. So treacherous. Whoa, see? The rainbow gen's just there. That's about the only thing that's nice about this right now. I suppose this is just the harsh reality of life out here. It's tough, man, it's tough. I've only walked for however many days and however many miles. I mean, I'm over 100 now. I must be about 130, 140. There's a reason why it's so beautiful, and that's because it's so wild. You can't tame a place like this. You shouldn't tame a place like this. It's the little things that count, right, people? Look, it's a fox moth caterpillar. They're so cute and fluffy. You know, sometimes we are just our biggest obstacles, and I'm seeing that in myself. You know, I'm seeing myself struggle and then getting frustrated that I struggle, or seeing myself lose the plot and then being frustrated that I'm not being patient enough, or I'm not trying hard enough, or I see myself trying and trying and trying, and yet I still am struggling. And I can't let myself feel bad and frustrated because I'm still carrying on, and sometimes you've just got to let the emotion out in order to carry on, you know. Back to no man's land again. I don't know where I'm trying to go. No path. Seriously, tussocky. Tough work. Pole sinks, knees. You sink to your knees. This is mad. It's not the path. It's not the path. Ah! Oh, it's so infuriating. FYI, I'm bang on the path. This is the path. Jeez. Obviously you got the rain coming to it. Come on, Howmore. Just dig in deep. Find the beauty around you. Find something to hold on to so you can tap into that extra 30, 40, 50%, whatever's left that we can't usually access very easily. You know, I have been so many times on the literal edge of I'm done here, as in life. and yet I'm here, alive. And that's my greatest motivator, is my lowest of lows, because I know that I've got out of that, so I can get out of anything, really. That was absolutely horrendous. At least we got a nice camping spot now. I think I am going to end up looking back on this trail with fondness for the fact that I've struggled, for the fact that it hasn't come easy. It has been a serious, gnarly hustle to get even this far. And that is what makes it such a beautiful thing. It's been tough. We're always so much stronger than we think. We always have so much more in us than we think. Just because you struggle, it doesn't make you weak. It makes you honest. It makes you true to yourself. But to keep showing up, to keep on keeping on, as I always say, there's a little motto. That's the key to success. Man, it's such a privilege to be able to do this walk and experience these landscapes. And you know, this is just the harsh reality. It's beautiful because it's wild, and you can't change that. You can't take that out of this landscape. You can't change that it's exposed, and it's exposure that allows the beauty. I found this the hardest film ever to make, because I feel so exposed and vulnerable in my own struggles that are going on in my life, and trying to come out here and deal with those whilst also creating a documentary film for the world to see. To put myself out there is flipping terrifying. And that's the beautiful thing about this whole backpacking thing, is it's such an amazing metaphor for life. When we think we've hit our lowest, we just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and we will make it through. Stop, recalibrate, look at the map, make your decisions, keep going. Never back down. Believe in yourself. Know that you can. Know that it's within you, even if not in that moment. But you'll get there. You'll get there. Okay, I'm just coming out to wash my feet, basically, and get some water. Jeez. They see me boiling, they hating. So tonight I've got one of my favourite meals. I saved the best till last. This is Italian inspired main meal by Tent Meals. Oh, it smells so good. It just smells like herbs and spices and good stuff, you know. So there's quite a lot of water in this one, but I need to rehydrate, so I'm gonna just leave it. How long does it say? I think it's like 8 minutes, 7 minutes, and then that's dinner. Grubs up, kids. What a nice morning to begin our final day to Stornoway today on the Hebridean Way. Also, I've just realised I was calling yesterday the penultimate day, when really today is the penultimate day. But I'll fill you in on that at a later date. Cheers. Bye, wee Loch. It's been fun. Left the Loch, and this is it. We're in Howmore now, and from here it is tarmac, supposedly, all the way to Stornoway and Lewes Castle. Plenty to chat about today. It's about 8.5, 9 miles, although this sign says 9.5, which is correct. Google or the sign, not sure. man, look at that. Isn't that just stunning? And then coming around here, the mountains and the hills.
This final leg to Stornoway stretched out ahead of me like an open book full of stories. I passed yet more peat beds, hinting at the oncome of winter, and many varied and colourful sheelings, little huts traditionally used during the summer by women and children who brought cattle to graze on the young heather and thin grasses. I love them, each one unique and speaking of its own history.
Four and a half miles to go. Merry Bank. Well, this is it. Entering into the Lewes Castle estate. Lots of forests and grounds here to explore. Proper woodland. Happy days. There's loads to see and do here. Different historical buildings and woodland walks, and the key word in that is woodlands. We've done enough walking, but we haven't had many woodlands, so it just feels really nice to be surrounded by these deciduous native trees. I mean, there's beech, there's birch, there's oak, maple. Oh, the feeling, man, the feeling. Very special. Is that it? Is that the castle? Geez, I'm really starting to feel excited now. I think this is the castle. Let's take a closer look. Wow, it is an impressive building. Well, this is it. This is Lewes Castle. This is where many people end their Hebridean Way adventure. Here in the town of Stornoway, originally founded by the Vikings. And this castle dates to the mid-1800s. Man, I'm feeling quite relieved to be here, I'm not gonna lie. That is my overwhelming emotion right now. I've made it to Lewes Castle. Whoosh, what a way that this has been. I don't have a grand finishing speech because I'm not done yet. As I've mentioned, I am going to the Butt of Lewis, but it's quite powerful knowing that this is the end for many people. Overlooking the harbour. What a building. What a place. Right, I've had some coffee and I had a massive portion of chips. Life is feeling good right now, and I'm really just enjoying the vibes of this place. It feels like there's lots of nice little walks. Anyone fancy a walk? Oh, what to do after you finish a big walk? Go for a little walk, of course. No, I'm just coming down to the woodland centre because I can see it. There is a Hebridean Way sign down here, which is absolutely essential to get a snap with. There it is, Hebridean Way. Oh, I never thought I'd be so comforted by a piece of metal. That feels good, I tell you that. 155 miles, bish bash bosh. Oh my gosh, did I make it? Morning. Can I go to the beach at North Tolster or New Tolster, please? Thanks, my friend. Have a good day. Welcome to North Tolster or New Tolster. So it's the next day, and I had to leave the Airbnb. I stayed in an Airbnb last night at 7 this morning. And I overslept, didn't I? Yes, I did. Left at 7:05 and legged it for 15 minutes through Stornoway with this massive thing on my back. And managed to just about make the bus. And this is it, the final leg to the Butt of Lewis. The reason why I am here is because it normally takes 2 days to walk to the Butt of Lewis from Stornoway. But tomorrow the weather is due to come in rather horrendously, so I thought, well, I'm going to skip the entire day of road walking from Stornoway to here and just walk this leg up to the Butt of Lewis. It is supposed to be a bog factor, 6 out of 5. It's rated 1.5 stars on various websites that I've looked at as a walk, so not sure what to expect, but then maybe I am, because I have done a few days of bog hopping. Anyway, there's not a lot to see here, so let's press on along the road until it disappears. The day hasn't even woken up yet, and I'm like, cool, let's go hike 16 miles. Fun. Look at this. It's just spectacular. And one of the things you'll notice is there's actually cliffs here. I don't feel like I've seen a single cliff since I started this hike all those days ago.
The beaches here are world renowned for their beauty, and I felt reinvigorated by the three-dimensional nature of the place. The wind, the waves, the birds. I knew this was going to be a magical final leg.
Aha! And there, tucked away in the corner, is the legendary Bridge to Nowhere. So this billboard details what was going on Tolsta to Ness in sort of the 1900s. They were trying to build a road all the way along the coast here from, Tolsta, but actually Stornoway, and then all the way up. But it was abandoned in 1921. I mean, if you think about the landscapes we've been moving through, how wet they are underfoot, trying to build a solid road on that terrain is tough going. So we've got tarmac on this side, and then this is Road's End. It is quite odd, I'm not gonna lie. Rather sound structural invention, and then it's just like boom, nothing. And then see, nothing. All right, let's go. Goodbye to active civilization for now, until we get to Ness and the Butt of Lewis. Let's see how this stretch goes. Let's put some truth to the rumours. Just about to see Tolsta there up on the cliffs, or on the hill anyway. Man, that is good. I do like the drama. Morning. Wow, okay, look at that. That is why I wanted to come and do this walk. Don't mind if I do. 8:30 in the morning. That is mind-blowing. Gosh. Well, goodbye, nice solid path. And these are the Heritage Trail signs that hopefully will be consistent enough to follow today. Hopefully being the key word. Two seconds later, I think this is going to be our day. Ah, clearly someone has been here yesterday evening, I would say. That's interesting. Who are you? Got to admit, that is cool. That's where we stood earlier. Oh, man, I like that a lot. Well, I mean, I know I've only just started, but this is looking good. We've got markers, berm, berm, berm. I can see them going all the way across the moors. I mean, that's better than the last couple of days of hiking. The trouble with some of this bog is you don't know how deep it actually goes. And it's a little sketchy. There we go. We've got a little hut here, or something like that. Whoa, look at that. Geez, you could definitely shelter in there. Do I dare? That's the question. I mean, as It's definitely a good shelter. It's well built. Oh, just a bit of a workout getting in and out.
As I pressed ever onwards, I couldn't help but feel as though I had arrived on a totally different world. Cliffs, exposure, epicness, and a vast open expanse of nothing and everything all at once. It felt completely wild, and it simply blew me away.
You know what feels wrong about this? I'm once again traipsing pathless across a fragile environment. The mosses and the lichens and the heathers, the shallow soil. It takes a long time for this stuff to recover. And I'm like, is it worth it putting my needs above this wild place? Personally, no, but I'm here now, so on we go. Little river down there. Jeez, it sounds deep actually. I would jump that, but I can't see how deep it is, so I'm not going to jump there. Look at this, look, we're back on a path again. Well, path, whatever. Some kind of trail. I don't know how that happens. It's like when you're on the motorway and you're queuing for ages and then finally you get going and you're like, why did we stop? Like, there's nothing here. And then it's like out here, why did the path disappear? There's no reason for it. And then you find it again. Wow. Alright, so the route goes here, drop down to the water, and then we climb up to that shieling and then over the top to continue all the way up there. It's nice down here. Jeez, those midges are awful. It's like, oh, this is a pretty place, I could stop here. Go, go, go! Get out of the way! Whoop. Slippy. Try again. That shielding just feels really random. There's just nothing. And yet someone's decided to make a little hut here. A little bit further on, there's the remains of these huts too. Except, yeah, not a lot left. Just see the foundations of the wall, eh? Interesting. Jeez, it's a bit close to the edge, isn't it? Every so often I get jumpy. I'm finding myself feeling like we're walking on the edge of a slump. There was a landslide that I saw earlier, not happened, but it's happened. And slumping is where the environment just drops down, a cliff just drops down. It feels like we're a bit on some sensitive ground at times. What features shall we navigate by today? The sea, I think. See, that's a ravine, so that thing there could go at any point. Oh, I don't like it, I don't like it. Am I going to get completely stuck now though? That's the question. Probably. Okay, looks like I kind of have no choice. I mean, it's been there for a while, right? So shouldn't just break off now, hopefully. Gosh, that stresses me out. Positive thinking now. And tread very lightly. Suddenly that apple is not interesting anymore. Okay, please, 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 please. Wow. Okay, cool. Let's get off it. 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, safe. Fantastic cliffs, look at this. The colour of that water as well. Guess what, folks? We can finally see northwards. We can see in front of us. I mean, we're not there yet, but that is completely fantastic. The signposts I've been following are taking me very intricately in and out of every single piece of coast, and the heritage trail sort of just cuts across inland. So I've decided to cut up to these sheilings here, and then hopefully on the other side I can pick up heritage trail, which will maybe be a bit faster. I don't know, worth a shot. So there's a lot of old buildings here again. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Full on settlement. Et voila! Back on the path. Good. And with that, we've joined the track. This is what I was hoping to find. And this is going to take us to Ness, sort of on the northeast coasty. And this area is kind of like a modern version with sheilings. People kind of young man sheds, that's what they're definitely becoming according to my guidebook. I can actually see the lighthouse right over there in the distance. That's good, that is. It's yet another settlement that just feels completely dead. There's just no one at all. No sound, nothing.
With the towering cliffs now behind me, it was time to dig in deep for the final few miles through to Linall and Port Ness. We had now walked into the autumnal season, and it was interesting to see the final stage of peat gathering, stacks outside of people's homes ready for burning. However, I was feeling tense and under pressure regarding my transport options from the Butt of Lewis back to Stornoway. Time was getting tight.
Man, I tell you what, this bus going at 3:35, it's very frustrating because I'm probably only going to miss it by about 10 minutes, and then I'm finding myself really rushed because I'm like, oh, maybe I can make it. Then I'm like, maybe I'll just follow the road up to the Butt of Lewis. And it's just nonsense because it's like, I haven't rushed that back there at all. But I'm going to have to wait for 5 hours to get the next bus in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I hadn't intended on getting this far so soon because the midges were so bad I couldn't stop and make coffee. But anyway, I think the solution for this is hopefully there's a pub down here or something where I can just stop and take a breather, get out of my head and back into the moment, and then we'll complete the last few kilometres to the Butt of Lewis. Crazy, eh? The last few kilometres. Let's head down to the harbour. Oh, and also, apparently we've just done 10 miles. It's not too bad, is it? And this might be the cafe. Yeah. Hi there, how you doing? I'm always that weirdo who has to sit outside no matter how hot or cold it is. But anyway, outside it is. Happy days, happy days. Isn't this just the coolest coffee mug ever? It's got a freaking whale on it. I kind of want to keep it forever, but I can't. This is the answer to any troubles that you might have. Bam, 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 bam.
Stopping in Port Ness really allowed me the chance to truly pause and see the place, to be in the moment and absorb the hush and calm. I could see across to the mountains of the mainland, my home far, far away. And yet, in the quiet, I remembered the saying, home is where the heart is, realising that my heart belonged here, in this transient, dramatic, wild place. It just needed freeing from the chains binding it to servitude.
Okie dokie. Let's get this hike finished. and that was a much needed break. I sat there for almost 2 hours. So it is now time to move and get to the butt of Lewis. 3 kilometers to go. Man, this is getting real now. Wave goodbye to the harbour. Let's go. Geez, see, this is why I wanted to come this way. Look at this. That is just stunning. Again, the colour of the water, the geology, the waves, it's just something else here.
This stretch of coastline was incredible beyond words. It felt like a forgotten land, shattered and untamed. It was also home to an abundance of bird life, including kittiwakes, fulmars and gannets, and the waters to seals and basking sharks. Boy, how I would have loved to have seen those.
I can see the lighthouse ahead. It's really not going to take me very long to get there. And right now I'm just trying to unscramble the chaos that is inside of me. You do a trip like this, and then as you near the end and as you reach the finish, it's just carnage inside. Like, you feel everything. And that's really what I'm experiencing now, is everything. But before we get to the lighthouse, there is an Iron Age hill fort to check out, which is a must, of course. Living at Dun Istian, traditionally known as the stronghold of Clan Morrison. An excavation work has found evidence of a medieval fort on the island, with houses, storage buildings, a defensive wall and a tower, thought to replace earlier buildings on the site. Wow. I'm guessing all of these lumps going up, going down, and then going up and going down. Yeah, these lumps. I'm guessing they're lazy beds where produce was cultivated, because how can these possibly be natural? Whoa, look at these rocks, man. They're just crazy. It's like someone dropped the earth. And this, my friends, is the country road that is going to take me to the lighthouse now. Last few hundred meters around the corner.
I could scarcely breathe for the emotion. Everything within and around suddenly seemed to take on an immense sense of meaning and purpose. The sound of my stick, the crunch of my boots, the road stretching out before me, and the cold, crisp air against my face. And in these final few moments on the way, it felt like paradise.
Jeez, this is it. The butt of Lewis Lighthouse. I mean, look at this place. What can I even say about this? And I almost stumble into it. The Hebridean Way mark. Man, it has been one flipping long journey. I'm so happy to be here. It has been so hard. And I didn't give up. Almost on many occasions, but I didn't. And now we're here. And we've travelled the entire length of the Outer Hebrides. Through storms of the very literal and metaphorical kinds, inside and out, to the northernmost point, with, looking north, the next landmass being the Faroe Islands. So far away. Thankfully, I'm not going to walk there. But despite the hardships that this trip has brought with it, I wouldn't change a thing, because these are the experiences that shape us, that make us. Sometimes we have to full on break down in order to get to the true essence of who we are, to find our inner resilience, to be our own coach. And I've done that. Because if I hadn't, I wouldn't be here at the Hebridean Way, Acha, at the butt of Lewis Lighthouse. I think it's okay if sometimes you can't find the words to describe an experience, because it means it's so much bigger than language can portray. And coming on these trails is such a vulnerable experience. It can swing in every direction at any possible point. The days are packed from sunrise to sunset, the nights are restless, the stars and skies are big, the moors are wide, the sea is far, and just everything is wild. And that is how this trip has been. It has been 100% wild. And I just still can't believe I'm here. I'm so happy. This is done. I'm so proud of myself. The Hebridean Way. 186 miles of wild.
One thing I had learnt is that where there's rain, there's usually rainbows, and where there's wind, there's often a transient light display through the clouds. You can't have one without the other. And now, stood on the edge of the world, it was my job to let this truth build me up. Suddenly, life felt good, light, free. The Hebridean Way had pushed me, but I had pushed back, knowing that in the end, I was the author of my own story. I needed nature then, just as I do now, to remind me that I am wild, that the immense power of the lands through which I had just travelled were the very same force that dwells within me. And that was my lesson, to never ever lose my wild.